Lisbeth, Borg. Today, I want to talk about dogs and friends. I was inspired by a discussion I read online. I was not participating. I stopped participating in anonymous online discussions in various Facebook groups or what have you online many years ago, actually almost 10 years ago, because I started Nordic Dog Trainer 11 years ago. And very soon after that, I realized that I should not spend my time arguing with people who were not interested in learning, but are interested in discussing and arguing just for the sake of arguing. So I decided not to participate anymore and spend my energy. I have a limited amount of energy, we all do. So we have to be really careful about where we use that energy and what we use it for. But I do read them sometimes just to see, also to get inspiration for these Facebook Lives, for other webinars, to see what people, what people are talking about, you know. So I was inspired by a discussion about if dogs need dog friends. And I was, I'm not very surprised anymore, but still, I do get surprised sometimes when I see how certain people are answering. And this is another reason why you should not do this in forums online when people are anonymous. You don't know the other person because you have no clue who you are talking to. So a lot of these people reply that they don't need friends, dog friends. Yeah. And this is based on their own experience or their own gut feeling, whatever that is. So I think we can't really just look at our own gut feelings when it comes to these things. If you want to read about something, if you're interested in something and curious about research, then I have two options for you. First of all, I recommend highly that you join the Tiny Science Chat with Lisa Dickel. Here at Nordic, it's €5 a month, so it's not expensive. She has an amazing group and community where they're doing Zoom meetings and discussing papers. You can find that on our website, actually, I think, not or, you should do both. Google Scholar is a place online where you can search for scientific papers. Okay, so I made a PowerPoint with lots of really nice pictures from my own dogs, the ones I still have. If you don't know, my computer died this summer, literally died. So it needs to go to an Apple store to be repaired. Hopefully I can get my pictures back at least. And we'll talk about if dogs need other dog friends. And the answer is, no surprise, yes, they do. Okay, dogs are extremely social animals, very social. That's one of the reasons why they have become our best friends, is because they are able to be social, not only amongst their own species, but with other species too. Yeah, so that's a great advantage. And for a lot of dogs, unfortunate as well, that's how they end up in trouble and with people who don't treat them well. But keep in mind that they are very, very social. Also, puppies are not born, they're born social, but they're not born with the, they're not familiarized with the environment and different people and other dogs or other animals. So they have to be socialized. We have to help them get used to the environment. It's very easy for them to do, but they have to experience this. Yeah. So that's why we socialize our puppies. Let me just show my PowerPoint while I'm talking, so you don't only see. So it's not only me. Hold on. Okay. So this and this. Now you can see pictures. These are all my private pictures, by the way. So, so yes, the answer is yes, they do need dog friends, or it's good for them to have dog friends. They can survive without. And actually, there have been studies. Some researchers claim that we should have a look at the possibility if dogs have lived with us for so long now, and so they're actually seeing us humans equally important in socializing as other dogs. Some researchers say that, not everyone, absolutely not everyone. But we do know that we have an important role in their lives, but so does other animals. I'm sure if you have a cat or other animals, or at least you've seen it, not all dogs and cats are friends, but they can be good friends, but they don't have to be. And that's the same thing with dogs. And that's also something I would like to talk about today, because they do need to socialize, and socialization with their own species, with other dogs, is not only play. This is play. This is Wilma and my dog Fried playing. And play, a lot of people think of socialization as play. So they go and seek out places and events for their dog to play. But it starts with puppies, play parties, play groups, and so on. But socialization is so much more. And this is not difficult, because this is very easy for us to understand, because we humans are also very social animals, very social. So it means the same thing. So when you meet a friend, being social with that friend, okay, and let's just get one thing very clear first. So socialization, being with other dogs, means that they are with other dog friends, dogs they know from before, and dogs they like to be with. Unfortunately, they don't love everyone, just like us. Some they accept, some they don't really like for some reason. We don't know why. They're individuals, and some they love being with. So if there's any point of socializing your dog, it should be with another dog or a few other dogs that your dogs prefer and like to be with. And when you socialize, you don't only go to a party and dance. I mean, maybe we did when we were younger. That's what we mostly did. Maybe, not all of us, but that's just a part of it. Going out to a party to dance is part of socializing. But going out for dinner is socializing. Sitting around talking, doing nothing is socializing. Going on a trip with your friends, having a sleepover, you know, when kids have sleepovers, that's socializing. It's the same thing with dogs. So being together is socializing, and playing is just a very small part of it. And adult dogs don't always play. So, you know, they don't have to play to be socialized. Do not worry if your dog is not playing. It doesn't mean that it's not social. So being together, and being together as a group. And this is something we can talk about as well. Now I only have Wilma, but I used to have a bunch of dogs. I used to have 8 dogs, and then 7, 6, 5, and so on. And this is one of my main interests, is to actually see how dogs are communicating and behaving and just existing as a group, as a family. So yes, if you have more than one dog, if you have 2 dogs or more, they are social with other dogs, which is good. But it doesn't mean that they don't need other dog friends. It's good for them to have other dog friends, because also in that little family of dogs, you know, like with humans as well, when we have our special way of behaving, our special way of reacting, of talking, you know, same thing with dogs. So even if you have 2 dogs or more, it's good for them to socialize with other dog friends, and even to take one of your dogs with another dog friend. Yeah. So that's only a good thing for them. Sorry, I muted myself. Being with other dogs is always a good thing, as long as the dogs like and enjoy being together. And being together, I think it's better to if you have the opportunity to meet other dog friends or a friend, actually you don't need more than one good friend, you know, you do so much better with one good friend than with no friends, or with just a lot of acquaintances. Like if you're working and then you have a lot of acquaintances and colleagues at work, that one special friend, you know, in your spare time is more, it's worth so much more, because we fit different roles. Sleeping together is also a great activity for socializing. And dogs, they are, again, they're social animals, and they're kind of social sleepers. They like to sleep close to each other, not necessarily on top of each other, but they like to be around each other. So to be with humans is very good for dogs. Actually, a lot of dogs do have too little contact with humans and other dogs. And some dogs might even have too much contact with humans and other dogs. You know, it could be too much too. If you have a dog that has to be with you at all times, all places, you take your dog around with you when you go shopping, when you go to work, when you do a lot of different things. They need a break too, just like us. So it can be too much and too little. And yes, humans are a great, it means a lot for dogs when it comes to being social. We have developed a very unique and special bond with dogs. So that's good, but still it's even better with other dogs that they know. Okay, so I didn't read a lot of research before this Facebook Live today. I can't remember every webinar and courses I've attended. So I was thinking, when I was adding this picture of my dog and my cat, if I could refer to any studies for that, but I can't remember them, and I didn't research for them for tonight either. But what I have learned is that also having an other species as a company is good for dogs. Like I said in the beginning, they're social animals, and they are able to be socializing with a lot of different other species than themselves, just like us. Okay, so being together is a good thing. Doing things together is a good thing. Relaxing, going for walks, sleeping, eating, even chewing, scavenging, as finding things, sniffing, everything and play if they want to play. Yeah. And meeting other dogs. So I was saying that it's better to be able to meet a friend once a month than never. Now, I also know, and my experience for the past 11 years is that a lot of our clients, they find it difficult to find other dogs to socialize with. And it shouldn't be really. We made Facebook groups and, you know, we have to put an effort into this. So I think this is important for us to make an effort so that you can help your dog find good dog friends. And this is important. It's not necessarily a lot of friends. It only has to be one friend, one good friend, or maybe two good friends. That's enough. Yeah. You would do the same thing for your child. If your child doesn't have any friends, you would try and find your child friends. We need to do the same thing with our dogs to help them. So I also added this picture. It's very old. When we were up in the far north of Norway with my ex-husband, we also experienced new things. So my dogs had then never been on a boat, for example. So experiencing new things and going for walks, even on leash. A lot of people think that you can only, for socializing matters, you can only be off leash when you go for a walk. No. It's okay also to be on leash, to walk together on long, loose leashes. Doesn't have to be off leash. So let's talk about these places. Is this places that's good to find dog friends? Maybe, yes, if you are there and if you have the knowledge of the calming signals and the dog language so that you know how to pick your dog's friend. Yeah. So a doggy daycare can be too much for a lot of dogs. It can be a beautiful, wonderful place and experience, and it can be a very stressful and not so nice experience for your dog. This all depends on the other dogs, how your dog is interacting with the other dogs, the stress level of the whole situations, what kind of activities they do together, and so on and so on. So there's absolutely no way I can say that it's good or it's bad. What I do know is that it's financially difficult to earn a living on a doggy daycare with very, very few dogs, because we can't charge the customer too much, then it would be too expensive. So what happens is that we might have to have more dogs there than necessarily good for the dogs if they don't, you know, all love each other. And yeah, that would be very nice, but it doesn't always happen. So you need the space, the right amount of space, the right kind of activity for each dog, and so on. And you have to have people there to supervise the dogs. Okay. Most importantly, you are not there. So if you trust the people who are working there to tell you what's going on when you are not there, that's fine. But I have a trust issue. I have a trust issue when it comes to people. I'm sorry. So I would like to see it myself. Yeah. Now, dog parks, they are easier because you are usually there. But dog parks aren't really the best place. It's a wonderful place if you can rent the park and go there with your dog and one or a couple of other dog friends, so they have a place to be off leash. But to take your dog into a dog park with a lot of dogs you haven't met before, I don't do that, because you don't know the other dogs. And again, what you should do actually is to go there without your dog and you know, observe, see what's going on, who's there, what kind of dogs, you know, see how they interact, see how the owners interact with the dogs and amongst themselves. Very often, places like that is also kind of a place for, you know, that we just take our dogs, leave our dogs to it, think that they're now socializing, they're running around playing, and then the owners are just standing in a corner chatting and, you know, doing whatever, not paying attention to what's happening between the dogs and how they communicate. So not ideally, but this has been talked about a lot, which is good. We have dog parks in Norway, and we're getting an increasingly number of dog parks, which is, I think it's a good thing. We just have to learn how to use them right. Yeah, it's a good place to have, so we can have our dogs off leash. It would even be better if we could have some enriched environment in there, not just nothing, you know, except it's a lot of smells. So if you pass by an empty dog park, that's a good place for your dog to go and sniff. Okay, social walks, like I said, it doesn't have to be off leash. It can be on leash, on long, loose leashes. The whole point is to walk slowly, relaxed, and enjoy. Again, no, you know, doesn't have to be play. If they can be off leash, of course, that's always the best. But if you don't have the opportunity, that's fine too. Put on a long leash, and it shouldn't be a lot of dogs, unless there's a lot of dogs that really know each other well, that everyone knows each other and are friends with everyone. So the rule should be that on a social walk, for it to be a social, enjoyable walk, it should be with a group of dogs that know each other, all of them, and that all of them are equally comfortable with each other. Yeah. And then you just walk. You don't have to walk for a long time, but being out and have the distance that is okay for the dogs. Now I'm assuming that the dogs don't have any problems, you know, with other dogs, at least not the dogs you're walking the social walk with. If you're helping your dog, passing other dogs and so on, that's a totally different story. That's not a social walk. So a social walk should be a relaxed affair with at least one more dog. It has to be at least two, but 3, 4 is fine. Don't have to be a lot of dogs, and does not have to be on, off leash. And you can meet up maybe once a week. If that's not possible, at least every second week. Like I said, I think that, you know, sometimes is better than no times. So the last one is play groups, and I think I already answered that question. So play groups, purely for the sake of playing is not, I can't really see the point, not even with puppies. We should call them something else, actually, because we can't expect them to play, and they shouldn't, and they don't play for too long, not as long as we are thinking they will. That you take your dog to a play group and you intend to stay there for 45 minutes. That's way too long to just play all the time. So again, play groups should be like a normal, a socialized group, call it something else, and do different things together. So yeah, isn't this beautiful? This is my dogs as well. So sniffing together, walking together, even running together, when they're off leash, running together, and some playing together, exploring together, sleeping together, and relaxing together, and being together. And also, very importantly, have the choice of moving away when it's enough. When it's enough. Just like us, do not force your dog to be friends with another dog. Please don't. So when it comes to socialization matters, it's very logical because they are like us, very much like us. We need to be social, and we prefer to be social with people we do like. At least I'm built that way. I don't really like socializing with people I don't have anything in common with, or, you know, don't really like. There's not many I don't like, but you get what I mean. And also the opportunity and the choice of moving away when you don't want to socialize anymore. So you need some rest as well. One last thing I want to cover today is, should I get one more dog to get my dog company? My personal advice is no, not for that sole reason alone. If you have a dog with separation anxiety, no. If you have a dog with any behavior problems, no. Sort these things out before you consider another dog, because you may end up with 2 dogs with problem behavior. So that alone is not the reason enough to get another dog. Remember, you're good enough for your dog. Your dog loves you as well. So being with other dogs is just a really, I wouldn't say added bonus. It's kind of a necessity as well. But yeah, I think it was, I think Amber Batson, I am 99% sure it was her who said that ideally dogs should be able to be with their dog friends every day when they wanted. But this is ideally, and it's not working like that. So that's why, again, I say something is better than nothing. Okay, I had a lot on my mind today. That's my take on socialization. Help your dog find at least one good friend that he or she likes to spend time with, and do something together as often as you can. Yeah. And trust yourself more than other people. So get Turid's book about calming signals, the talking terms with dogs, get to observe dogs. We have some new activities and courses coming up for those of you who would like to learn more about that as well later. So learn it, observe it. This is really what I want to say as well, to understand what socialization is about, that it's not only about play, and it has to involve other dogs that your dog actually like to be with. And we can't force them to be friends with anyone. Like I said, dog parks can be really, I mean, they're really, really good, but you should also really consider doing sensory environments. I think this is time to mention that we have Nordic dog trainer insider. I think this is, we have a community for those who are on our courses, but we also have the insider Facebook group, which is called Dog Trainer Insider, because I think that would be a nice place for you to meet, to socialize, actually. So in Norway, actually, we have a funny thing. Norwegians are funny. We are not famous for really talking to strangers. So if you go on a public transport or something in Norway, very likely no one is going to talk to you. But if you go hiking in the mountains, or if you put skis on in the winter and you go skiing, everyone is friends. So then everyone is greeting everyone. Like, hi, skiing, hi, like, we're the best friends. Not that I know, because it's years since I've been skiing, but that's what I've heard. They still do that. So, okay, it feels nice, to say hi. So, but we don't feel social. We have not been socializing during that walk or ski or hike. Yeah. So, yes, if your dog, I think actually it's really nothing wrong. Actually, the opposite. If your dog is used to meeting other dogs, stranger dogs, when they are walking, and they don't do all this interaction, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Whether dogs are introvert or extrovert, or maybe someone else, maybe Lisa Dickel can talk about that, if there are some papers on it, I don't know. But they have different personalities. So I would assume that some dogs are more outgoing than other dogs. That's just, what I assume. I have no evidence for it. Yeah. But it's really not a problem. And don't think that that's socializing, to go for a walk, because that's what I remember still in the 80s when I took my puppy to a puppy class, and, we should go out and socialize them on walks. You should take your puppy to different places and let different people pet your dog. Horrible. And other dogs greet your dog. Horrible, because they didn't have a choice. This is where a lot of problems starts, actually. Problem behavior, because Wilma as well, actually, she's like that, I realized, because Wilma has never been the only dog. She always had other dog friends. So now I see more of her, her personality, what she's like when she's the only dog. And when we meet people with dogs on our walks, she never really have the urge to go and greet another dog. She might stop and watch them, which is good to see, She's curious, she looks, and then she's like, yeah, okay. She keeps on walking. It's no problem whatsoever. Okay. This was a good talk. Thank you so much for being here. I also want to mention that soon, so it's a deadline for Amber Batson's course, Aggression in Dogs for Professionals. And this is the last time we're doing her, not we are doing, it's the last time she is doing her aggression course in this format, online. It's a 1-year course. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Have a very nice evening. Bye.